Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 favorite found footage movies. Yes, this is October, this is the season of Halloween, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a lot of Halloween type videos, and I thought I'd start off by doing my top 10 favorite found footage movies. I was going to just do top 10 favorite found footage horror movies, but I can't think of 10 horror found footage movies I can put on a top 10 list to actually make a good top 10 list, so I just said top 10 favorite found footage movies. Some of these aren't horror movies, but most of them are, and you know, it's still sort of intertwines with the October Halloween videos, so yeah, don't worry, there's more Halloween type videos coming out later on this month, but yeah, this is what's starting it off. Here's my top 10 favorite found footage movies. Alright, let's get to it. Here's my top 10 favorite found footage movies, and before top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Cloverfield, Unfriended, Paranormal Activity 3, Willow Creek, VHS, Lake Mungo, and The Last Broadcast. All pretty decent found footage movies. Just couldn't make the top 10 list, but what did make my top 10 was my number 10. My number 10 is The Den. The Den is a weird, creepy Skype found footage movie. Yes, Unfriended also did this. I actually don't hate Unfriended. Some people really didn't like that movie. I thought it was pretty good, but The Den, I think, did it better. It's about a girl who's Skyping with people. She's designing this new, chatting site. But then some creepy stalker killer starts, stalking her Skype and stuff, and basically it's kind of like a stalker thriller, but through Skype and stuff, and it has a very interesting and disturbing twist at the end, which I will not spoil. But it is a very creepy, psychological, horror, found footage movie, and it just works. The acting isn't perfect, but the setup is good, the premise is good, the story's good, there's some decent writing, and there's a good twist at the end. So, all in all, I think it's a pretty darn good found footage movie, and it's my 10th favorite. Coming in number 9 is the first Paranormal Activity. Yes, some people are just getting sick to death of these movies. I'm one of them. I can't stand these movies now. The Ghost Dimension sucked. The marked ones, the fourth one, even the third one has its problems, but at least there's some genuine scares in that movie. The first one started it all, and it actually is creepy and eerie. And the acting is actually pretty good with these two couples and stuff, and again, it does what I like in horror movies. The creepiness is what you don't see. That's what makes it scary. That's why I like a lot of horror movies when you don't see the ghost or see the monster, like The Haunting, the original Haunting, not the shitty remake, but the original Haunting. It's because you don't know if the house is haunted or if they're all just crazy or the main girl's just crazy. It builds more atmosphere and scares, and that's what Paranormal Activity did. You don't see the ghost. You don't know if there is a ghost and stuff. It's very creepy and eerie and atmospheric, and that's why I liked Paranormal Activity. Does it have flaws? God, yes, does it ever. And sometimes, even though it's a short movie, it does drag a bit, and there's some scenes that make no sense and just go nowhere. But all in all, I find it a very creepy, eerie movie, and I enjoy the first Paranormal Activity. Coming in number 8 is Troll Hunter. Troll Hunter is a foreign found footage movie about these people who are investigating the woods for this big troll, this monster, almost like the Bigfoot or something, but it's this big weird troll. And it's a very weird movie. It's about journalism and tracking monsters and creatures and stuff, and it's a pretty good movie. There's some very funny, colorful characters. Again, it's short and to the point, which is why I like it. It has atmosphere, there's some genuine creepiness, but it's also a very fun adventure found footage movie. The found footage works because it feels like a documentary. These weird people tracking this big troll, these sightings and stuff. It feels like you're investigating with the people. And that's why I like the movie. It's well acted, it's well directed, and it's well executed. It's just a fun found footage movie, and I do enjoy Troll Hunter. It's a very good movie. It's kind of underrated, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty fun. Coming number 7 is Wreck. Yes, Wreck is one of the few found footage movies I saw. This and The Blair Witch, but this one was really creepy. It's about a journalist and her cameraman, and basically she's following these firefighters and stuff, and they get a call, and they go to a building. There's this virus that broke out in this building, and basically the government locks all these people in this building, and the journalist and her cameraman is one of them, so they're filming everything and stuff, and yeah. They basically made a remake of this, an American remake called Quarantine, which sucked, but this one was good. It was creepy. That child, when it's a zombie, it's very scary. The ending is very creepy. Again, there's genuine atmosphere and chills and creepiness about this movie. It's a really good movie. It's a really good found footage movie. It's a good zombie outbreak movie, and it's a good one. They made a sequel, which was but I really like the first Wreck. It's really good. Coming number 6 is Creep. Yes, Creep came out just a couple years ago, and as Mark Duplass, he also wrote and directed the movie with his co-star. A very good, very creepy stalker movie. It's about a guy who wants to do a documentary about this other guy who has like this heart disease and stuff, and he wants to talk about like a day in the life kind of thing and talk about his life and stuff. But then he finds out this guy is not telling the truth. He's just a really creepy dude who likes to invite people to his home and stuff, and he gets like weirdly attached to them, and he doesn't even have a son or a heart disease and stuff. It's a very weird and uncomfortable movie, but it really works. The 2 actors in this movie are really good. The twist at the ending is very good and very creepy. This movie is just unsettling and kind of gross at times. And not gross like because it's violent. It's gross because of like the behavior of these weird characters. And it really works. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable, and it did its job very well. Creep, very good movie, and a pretty darn good found footage movie. Coming number 5 is VHS 2. Yes, I actually don't mind the VHS trilogy. Third one sucked, though. That one's awful. First one's pretty good. The second one's even better. The stories are more interesting. The intertwining of the characters are more interesting. The characters are more fascinating to watch. They're very likable, too. The actors are good. You got Adam Wingard's back co-directing, and yeah, it just works. The ending is really good. It has a good twist. There's some good thrills, some scares, and you want to know where the movie's going. You want to know what's going to happen to these characters, and that's how you make a good setup for a horror movie. If you don't care about the story or the characters, then you're going to have a really bad horror movie. But that's what made the VHS movies work. They had good characters, they had good scares, they had an interesting idea and premise, and that's why I liked the VHS movies, the first 2. The third one sucked, but the second one just did it better and upped the stakes from the first one, and it was just a more entertaining horror movie. Coming number 4 is Paranormal Activity 2. Yes, the second Paranormal Activity is much better than the first one. It actually uses more scares, uses more atmosphere, brings in more characters, and it intertwines the story of the first one and makes it more interesting, more fascinating. I actually wanted more Paranormal Activity movies after this one because I was so invested with this one. But then, unfortunately, the more sequels kept coming, they kept getting more stupid and more uninteresting, but I thought they would all be like the second one. Unfortunately, they weren't. The second one is the best Paranormal Activity movie with the more interesting story and the more interesting scares. The camera movements is freaking unsettling. The tracking shots just work. How they stay on a person for a long period of time, and what you don't see and what you do see. It's fascinating how they make this movie and how they create the scares and stuff. It's very creative, very clever, this movie. And yeah, I like the second Paranormal Activity. Some people just really hate this Paranormal Activity franchise. They hate all the movies, and I can totally see why, but the first 2 actually had genuine scares, and it actually created an interesting idea for a film and for a franchise. Unfortunately, they screwed up in the later sequels, but the second one just did it best. It was the better sequel, it was more interesting, it brought bigger, better ideas, and I freaking loved it. It's a great horror movie. Fortunately, the third one kind of brought it down a bit, but the second one is so darn good. Coming number 3 is Chronicle. Yes, Chronicle, a superhero, super-powered, found footage movie that just works. It has Dane DeHaan and Michael B. Jordan, and it's directed by Josh Trank when Josh Trank wasn't directing Fan Four Stick, so that's always a plus. And it's also written by Max Landis, who writes pretty good movies. I really like Chronicle. I love that it's about these guys who get these superpowers and they videotape themselves doing like weird things with their powers, like practical jokes and stuff. It actually feels like what people would react to if they actually got superpowers and stuff. But one kid, the lead kid, played by Dane DeHaan, has a weird upbringing and a bad family, and he always gets bullied and stuff, so he starts using his powers for bad and evil, and basically the 2 buddies have to stop him and stuff. And yeah, it's basically sort of like a superhero, superpowered found footage movie, and it's really good. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's dark, it can be a bit gritty at times, you know, it's a PG-13 movie. The ending climax feels like something out of Dragon Ball Z, and it's pretty awesome to watch. I actually wanted to see a sequel, probably won't get one, but this one was still a very good, entertaining, visually stunning movie too for a found footage movie. And yeah, it's a damn good found footage movie. movie. It's my third favorite. Coming number 2 is the Blair Witch Project. Yes, the Blair Witch Project is what started the found footage movies. Yes, this, again, I've mentioned this on and on before, so I don't need to drag this on. So everyone knows that I love the Blair Witch Project. I love its subtlety. I love its atmosphere. I love that there's so many theories about this movie, especially if you watch the film theory one. It makes the movie all the more interesting and stuff. And this is about what you don't see. It's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's out there. And it's about fear being lost. Have you ever been lost in the woods before? I haven't, but just the sound of that and the look of that just is terrifying enough, and I love it. I thought the performances were good. Yes, there's a lot of yelling and screaming, but it's realistic. It feels real. It feels like you're in this movie with these people. I feel like you're watching a documentary about these people trapped in this woods and they just can't get out. And it's spooky. It's creepy. It's a movie I watch every Halloween season, and it's my second favorite found footage movie. And my number 1 favorite found footage movie is End of Watch. Yes, the cop movie. Not a horror movie, and yeah, it's a cop movie. Did this movie need to be found footage? I think so, because it's about, you know, what it's like to be a police officer. It's about Jake Gyllenhaal's character. He's in, like, this film class, and he's in his documentaries, like, about what it's like to be a cop for, like, a week and stuff, you know, filling out paperwork, you know, catching criminals, dealing with, like, drug dealers, dealing with, like, snitches and stuff, you know, and just random police stuff, what police talk about, how they act and stuff, and it's a really damn good movie, End of Watch. This is directed by David Ayer, who did a fascinating job. He also wrote this movie. It's a very well-written film. It's also an emotionally impactful movie. This movie is so well done, very well executed, and the direction is so well done, very well structured. And both Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena both give fantastic performances. They have great chemistry. They actually feel like two police officers in Los Angeles, or is it New York? It's Los Angeles, I think, yeah. And they feel like two genuine, real police officers, you know, doing police work, catching criminals and stuff, and the way they act and joke around each other, they feel like real cops. And you got also America Ferrera in the movie, Anna Kendrick, both are great, and this movie is just very well done. It's gritty, it's realistic, you feel like you're involved with these police officers and all of these characters and stuff, and it's just a very genuine, heartbreaking movie. The ending is so sad, I will not spoil it, but it's such a well done movie. If you have not seen it, please check it out. Even if you're not a fan of found footage movies, please check this movie out, because it's hands down the best found footage movie. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite found footage movies. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this top 10 list? If not, give me your top 10 favorite found footage movies. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.